Welcome to the channel. Recapped, today we will see a 2009 Norwegian comedy horror movie named Dead Snow. Spoiler alert. The movie starts, and we see a woman being chased through the snows of Norway. She tries to escape, but gets caught and killed by zombies who were wearing World War II National Socialist SS uniforms. The scene shifts, and we see medical students, Martin, Roy and Arland, traveling with their friend Vegard, to meet with the girls Hannah, Liv and Chris, who were in another vehicle approaching from a different direction. They all are headed towards a cabin at a remote location near Oxfjord to celebrate their Easter vacation. Then we see them parking their cars at a location, which was at a 45-minute walking distance from the remote place where the cabin was situated. Vegard takes out his snowmobile and guides all of them to the cabin. The rest of them follows. Cabin was owned by a woman named Sarah, another medical student, who is Vegard's girlfriend. She is the most knowledgeable of the wilderness in that group, and has been skiing across the mountains to meet them, but has not returned yet. 7 of them reach the cabin, but they do not find Sarah there and believe she is still skiing in the snow and will arrive soon. Meanwhile, they all try their hand at some snow sports themselves and spend their time enjoying. The scene shifts, and all of them are seen drinking and partying, when Liv goes to the outhouse. While she was in the toilet, she saw a figure passing by. She freaks out and runs back to the cabin and tells everyone else. All of them goes to check, and finds a mysterious old man, who was a hiker, outside their door. The hiker asks for the coffee and was invited in by the group. He was quite weird, and drinks their beer without asking, and acted too friendly with them. Hiker then tells the group about the dark history of the region. He says that, during World War II, a force of Nazi death squad led by their dreaded commander, Herzog, occupied the area. And for 3 long years they abused and tortured the local people. And near the end of the war, with Germany's defeat looming, looted all their valuables before starting to withdraw from the area. The citizens managed to stage an uprising and ambush the Nazis, killing many of them. The surviving Nazis, including Herzog, were chased into the mountains. And it was assumed that they all froze to death. The hiker also told them that the area still has an evil reputation. After listening this, Roy makes a mockery of the hiker. Reacting to which the hiker grabs his neck and warns all of them. He then leaves and continues his journey. And is seen resting in a camp having some food, when suddenly he hears a noise outside and gets out to inquire. He sees a zombie standing in front of him while another one gets his throat slit at lightning speed. He runs back to his tent, but later gets murdered by the zombie which follows him inside. The scene shifts, and we see, in the cabin Vegard had a bad dream about his girlfriend Sarah and he wakes up, then decides to go out and look for her the very morning. He takes his snowmobile, and goes in search of her. While the rest of them starts enjoying in the snow, ignoring the warning from the hiker they met the previous night. While searching, Vegard finds the tent of the hiker. Out of curiosity he goes to look inside, where he finds the hiker dead. The awful condition of the body was exactly as the hiker narrated, from the past instances he heard of and told to them the previous night. Taken aback by what he saw, he follows the trail of blood-stained footprints on the snow and falls down a hole, and gets knocked out, falling inside a cave. The scene changes and we see other friends inside the cabin, where they all are in awe of a box which was accidentally found by Arland. The box contained gold valuables, probably of the Nazis from the World War II. They were still discussing over the box, when Arland goes to the toilet outside and Chris followed. They share some intimate moments in there, and Arland returns, while Chris was still in the toilet and notices someone peeping inside. She freaks out, and in no time, gets dragged down by a zombie. She somehow manages to escape and runs towards the cabin screaming. Loud music was being played inside the cabin and no one was able to hear her cries for help. Suddenly Hannah notices some noise coming from outside and stops the music. She starts looking out of the window, and a zombie was seen dragging Chris with him swiftly. Hannah comes out of the main door searching for Chris, but she was nowhere to be found. She then gets inside and informs others. They all get outside searching her. They do not find her, but do find Sarah's rucksack buried in the snow. All of them starts feeling the creepiness of this place and could sense that something was wrong. They all were inside the cabin, and Hannah is looking out of the window, when she sees Chris on the other side. Hannah gets ecstatic at the sight of her, but suddenly she starts screaming. A zombie was carrying the severed head of Chris in his hand. Liv thought Hannah was kidding, and gets to the wood now to check for herself. A zombie appears and grabs her by her hair. Arland cuts her hair with a knife and she is saved. but there were zombies attacking from every nook and corner of the cabin. Hannah cuts one of the zombies' hand, edge fell inside the cabin. And from the ring in its finger, it's revealed that they were Nazis. Arlen gets killed a little later, while the remaining students somehow manages to seal the cabin windows and door and survive the night. The following morning, Vegard comes to his senses in the cave. There he discovers World War II German firearms and helmets, along with Sarah's severed head. Here it is revealed that Sarah was the same woman we saw being chased and killed at the beginning of the movie. Vegard gets out of the cave where he is attacked by the zombies. Meanwhile, the remaining 4 students in the cabin decides to split up. The 2 men, Martin and Roy, attempt to distract the zombies, while the 2 women, Hannah and Liv, run towards their cars to seek help. While doing so, the girls get lost and are attacked by the zombies. Vegard, on the other side, manages to escape from the zombies and falls off the cliff with one of them. He is bitten in the neck too, but manages to hang and climb back. Hannah and Liv are fighting for their lives too, but Liv gets caught and suffered fatal injuries. Before dying, she manages to set the zombies on fire with a stick grenade. Hearing the sound of explosion, Herzog arrive at the scene. Hannah is cornered on a cliff with a zombie and breaks the ice. She falls and loses her senses. Vegard stitches his neck and manages to escape on the snowmobile, which he equips with an MG-34 machine gun. Martin and Roy holds up in the cabin, but then accidentally sets it on fire with Molotov cocktails. They run outside and discovers a shed next to the cabin, containing chainsaw, hammers and axes, and equip themselves. The main group of zombies attacks. Martin and Roy manage to fight them off, aided by Vegard, who returns on the snowmobile. Vegard kills many of them with his machine gun and gets brutally killed during the fight. Martin and Roy gets furious seeing Vegard's death and starts attacking the zombies ferociously. Their killing spree comes to a halt as Martin accidentally kills his girlfriend Hannah with his hatchet. She returned, gaining her senses back. Herzog arrives with another set of zombies, including SS men, but Martin and Roy manages to fight them off. Martin gets bitten on his arm and was forced to cut it off with a chainsaw to avoid getting turned into a zombie himself. Herzog then raised many other zombies from the ground. Seeing this, the 2 students run for their lives. Roy gets hunted down by Herzog, who then takes out a watch from Roy's pocket. Seeing this, Martin finally realized that the zombies are after their loot and runs towards the burnt-out remains of the cabin to retrieve their box. He gives the box to Herzog and runs towards his car. He looked around, and zombies were nowhere to be seen. Martin gets a sigh of relief and gets into his car. While he tries to switch on the ignition, a coin falls out of his pocket, kept by his girlfriend Hannah. He looks around in terror, and Herzog is seen smashing the car window. And the movie ends here. Thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. Do like, subscribe and watch out for more.